he knew in his heart and soul it did not make sense to him. Burying female children alive, it did not make sense to him. The mistreatment of women because they were women and the child was not blessed to be a boy, it did not make sense to him for them to be mistreated. But they were treated with great dignity and great honor when it was a boy child born. And when they have carnivals and festivals and feasts and everything else. Let the world know that they have an heir coming after them. You know, the backwardness. You know, Jahiliyyah, they're Muslim, we need to study the word a little bit more. It's more than just ignorance. If we study the word Jahil, we will see this world in a much clearer light today. Jahiliyyah wasn't just in the time of Prophet Muhammad. We're living in this time. We're living in this time when Jahiliyyah has grown up and has evolved. Like a baby grows up and evolves. Initially, the baby's in a baby state. Like you learn your ABCs, you're in a baby state, and then you start to learn words and you gradually grow. Well, Jahiliyyah has grown to an all-time high. It is much worse than it was in the time of Prophet Muhammad, the prayers and peace be upon him, the day that we're living in. They just loosely translate, we say it was the days of ignorance. We know ignorance is out there, but now the ignorance is not just there, the perversion of life. When men are confused about whether or not they want to be men, and they biologically they men. And women are biologically women, they confused that they want to be a man. The perversion it's not just ignorant anymore. It's downright, as our Christian brothers and sisters will say it's downright blasphemy. And we will say, astaghfirullah. Oh Allah, forgive us and have mercy on us for something so foolish, right? Or so detrimental. Our young people, I work with young people, I take care of young people, I talk to the young people in the Masjid, and I challenge them not to just sit with us, but I challenge them to be with us. I challenge them to bring their ideas and their concerns to the forefront, because they're living in the midst of all this ignorance. If they're not in Islamic school, they are being duped. You know, we say, for Islam protects us, right? We say the Holy Quran and life of Prophet Muhammad, it protects us. So we're not easily angered out of our form because we're in our righteous dress, right? We're not easily shocked out of our form because we're reading the Word of God. We're reading the Quran. We're learning like the Prophet. But we sure are being seduced out of our form. And sometimes that seduction comes dressed in righteous clothing. So we see the importance of the very first revelation. Iqra, read. Right? Read. Learn to be perceptive. Not just to read these words that's on this paper here. I'm to do that, to learn how to do that. But then I'm also supposed to learn how to interpret what I read for the protection of my life. So I won't be angered, seduced, or shocked out of my Muslim form. You say, well, I've grown up. I'm not Muslim anymore. I'm a movement. I'm a believer. I'm a trusting, faithful person. Well, being a Muslim helps to keep you in that form. Because you can't be faithful, you can't be trusting, you can't be believing if you don't pray. Now, I ain't talking about just the physical prayer that we do, because we got enough room and eventually we'll do that, right? I'm I'm talking about prayer of the mind, the spirit, and the whole body. I'm talking about learning what Fajr prayer means for the application of your life in the afternoon. I'm talking about not just being so focused on praying Asr prayer that you lose the Dhuhr prayer and you lose Fajr prayer. But all you want to do is make Asr because it says, I don't want to be lost. Oh, you say, well, the Prophet never missed these two prayers. I'm going to pray Fajr prayer and I'm going to pray Maghrib prayer because the Prophet never missed those two. So as long as I make those two, I'm following the Sunnah. Well, God has given us time to help us to manage our life. And it's important to respect time. But if you think prayer is just you standing in one spot, standing erect, in Qiyam, surrendering yourself to God, and bending over in Ruku, standing in Rafu, then going down into Sajda, then sitting back in Jalsa, then going back down into Sajda, and if it's the final position, you go into Jalsa again, and then you go into Qadr. If you think that's all that is made, prayer is made for, just to do these movements, and your mind has not grown, that you are able to pray with your mind, then we got more prayers to make. You got more prayers to make. And you only can make 5 obligatory. So the message ain't in the obligatory prayers. There's 5 of those. So there's one for each one of your senses if you want to be intelligent about what you're doing. You got 5 senses, right? And they said those 5 senses can lead to heightened sense. So you got 5 daily prayers. There's no coincidence there. Prophet Muhammad told us the importance of utilizing 5 before 5 prevent you. So this is serious stuff. We may not consider it because, you know, it's us. We got it, you know. It registers when someone asks us, why do you pray 5 times a day? Then you may go ponder and reflect and consider things a little deeper, you know, to help them out. Help them to understand why you do. In general, we don't think about this stuff because we in it. We get, as they say, complacent. We get comfortable. But you and I have a duty to keep our mind sharp, keep our mind awake in this day of darkness, in this world of darkness. I'll tell you so much. I know where I started with the youth. I know where I was going. They have our children not wanting to learn the Quran, not wanting to learn the life of Prophet Muhammad, not wanting to learn history, period. Because they're pulling our children away from math and science, and they want them to be entertainers. Immediately you think they want them to be music people. Well, that's the biggest one, but there's others, you know, all different type of entertainment. But they're pulling at them at the string, the core of their heart and soul, is they want them to fall into this entertainment situation, because the entertainment situation leads them to that which is fictional, which is not real. And so then when reality kicks in, they can't even think in a real state of mind because they're so consumed with the fiction. And you wonder why. That they want to tell you that this new movie, they made over $1 billion within 6 weeks. Well, guess what, dear people? Fictional means not real. So you got people walking around talking about Wakanda forever and putting crosses across their chest. That's what that is. That's a cross. We've been there. We've done that before. we walked that walk before. We know the tricks. You know, say the schemes. We know the schemes. And we know the importance of what Muhammad and what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran, that we are to focus on the Sirat al-Mustaqim. That's the straight line. But you just can't live in a straight reality like that you have to also live in the social, which is the sabil. That's a cross. You can turn it to the X, or you can make it a cross. It's still a cross. And so they're appealing to us, and they say, well, yeah, well, you know, we made over $1 billion in six weeks. We ain't make nothing. Masjid Al-Ansar, W.D. Muhammad Islam says, we ain't received no check in the mail and say, here's benefit of your royalties, the royalty benefits to help us reach $1 billion. Here's our philanthropic support for your desire and passion to help keep us straight in our mind in this confused world. Here's your check. That's fiction. That ain't real. And if you had a real Muslim in that element, they would do everything possible to make sure that they would not send you a check. They would even threaten them with their career if they gave support to you, that which is real. Because they want to perpetuate this fictional idea. This is how they're able to control the masses of the people. So even if I just stood here and just talked to you about Al-Fatiha and the importance of it, that it is the opening. It is the opening that will give you the victory in life. And I talked to you about the truth in every key that each ayah represents a key to keep you clean and keep you straight.